Welcome to Simply Wicked. Today we're taking a look at every utility rune in No Rest for the Wicked. We'll be testing the effects and I'll be ranking them so you know which ones are worth your time. I do need to cover some of the basics quickly first, but if you'd like to skip straight ahead to the tier list, please use the timestamps below. If you're using a controller, you activate your utility runes by holding down the right trigger or the R2 button and then pressing the button corresponding to the skill. If you're using the keyboard and mouse, you activate them by holding down the Alt key and pressing the numbers 1 through to 4. Now Eleanor is your enchanting NPC and she's first found at the end of the bridge after visiting the Watcher for the first time. She gives you a quest called A Small Mercy and then sets up camp at the marketplace. Now to manage your utility runes, speak with Eleanor. Select Rune. Manage utility runes. Extracting a utility rune costs a small fee, but it lets you keep the rune. However, if you are extracting a weapon rune, please note that will destroy the weapon, so just be careful, read the screen text and make sure you're not gonna delete your weapon. Eleanor also has a rotating stock of random runes available for purchase, so be sure to check back daily, see what she has available. Now you can upgrade Eleanor's shop via the building projects. This gives you more options when buying things from her. When you start the game, you only have one utility rune. To unlock more slots, you need to hand in Plague Ichor to the Watcher and select +1 utility rune slot. You get Ichors from killing bosses and completing weekly bounties, as well as endgame content. You can have up to 4 slots in total. You are given an additional utility rune called Illuminate as a quest reward early on. Now that quest is the one that Eleanor gave you on the bridge earlier, called A Small Mercy. After completing that quest, you will receive the Illuminate rune for free. So the first utility rune we're looking at is the Repair utility rune. This costs 150 focus to cast it, and it partially repairs the gear that you're wearing. Now, you don't actually have 150 focus points to begin with, so you do need to actually invest some points into focus to be able to cast this in the first place. So as you can see here, going through the Crucible, I actually only have 140 focus, so I needed to actually get the 10% boost to actually be able to cast this, just to show you guys. So this is going in the F tier for me. The next utility rune is the Return, and now this costs 25 focus and it acts as a whisper, so you can actually just teleport to any other whisper from where you are. Now it sounds pretty handy, but what I usually just do is I usually just use a whisper to teleport, and if I'm not near a whisper, I just kill myself and then I'm near a whisper. So I haven't really found much use for this, to be honest. So that one also is going in the F tier. After that we have the Elemental Resistances. Now these cost 50 focus and give you a 2-minute buff. It says 25% resistance for 2 minutes. My ice resistance goes up from 28 to 31. Doesn't really feel like it's worth it really. Doesn't seem like it's doing too much there. maybe at some point you'll struggle with a boss and you will want to use this to help you kill that boss, but as of yet I've not really had any need to use this. So that one is going in the E tier. Also going in the E tier is the Thorns. This costs 50 focus and gives you a 2-minute buff, which returns damage back to enemies. Now this does actually have some use case. Maybe you're building a tank build with a shield that already reflects damage, in which case maybe this is something that you'd like to pick up, but generally I don't think this is going to get used by a lot of people really, so that is going in the E tier for me. I mean, maybe it should have gone D, but I think E is okay. Next is Illuminate. So for 25 focus, you cast a buff on yourself. I have made a small comparison here for you guys to see. If you have nothing, or if you have a torch, and then again with the Illuminate spell, so you can see Illuminate does make a big difference. So if you are visiting the dark dungeons, you might want to be picking this up temporarily. And that one is going in the D tier. Along with that is Poise Shield. For 100 focus, you get a 2-minute buff. Gives you plus 200% poise. Again, this has very specific use cases. You may be building your tank build, maybe you want this and Thorns, but it's very specific use case, so I don't think many people will be rolling with this, and certainly I am not. The last one in the D tier is the Pulse of Health. So again, it costs 100 focus, this one, and it's a 2-minute buff, gives you plus 20% health. This could be pretty useful, I guess, but I just feel that there are more beneficial runes. If you're really struggling with health, maybe you will have already put a few more points into health. Yeah, it doesn't really feel that noticeable, but so that one is going in the D tier as well. The next ones are the enchantments, the weapon enchantments. So these just cost 50 focus and again give you I believe it's a 2-minute buff. Now these effects are extremely powerful, so why am I ranking them so low? Simply put, you can get weapon enchantments from numerous sources, and using a utility rune slot for it is maybe just not optimal. So enchantments can come from the base weapon effects, also known as the facets now. They can also come from gems inside your weapons, obviously utility runes, and also oils. So I think if you're trying to really maximize your character, you probably be using oils, because then you're saving yourself a utility rune slot. You're also saving yourself a gem, basically. If you don't have an enchantment from a different source, you probably do want to pick this up. So all of those are going in the C tier. Now the next one is an interesting one. This is Scream. Now this does a little knockback. It knocks down the enemies, as you can see here. It costs 50 focus to do so not much, which is great. The only downside to this is it doesn't really work on the shielded mobs or big mobs, so it only really works on the sort of the smaller creatures, the smaller mobs, basically. So yeah, I think this could really be beneficial inside the Crucible run. You just need to be aware that you can't knock down everyone. And so that one is also going in the C tier. Again, I think with some of the like melee builds, you really might want to pick this up anyway. Now into B tier we have heal. Now I really don't want to put this up too high, but unfortunately just up until now it's kind of seemed like a necessary rune to have. I personally don't have that much lifesteal, and I just haven't been able to get enough lifesteal to get rid of this rune. So I do find it super helpful, unless I'm just keep munching food all the time. Yeah, so for 50 focus, you can heal yourself for, it says it's about 40 damage. Yeah. There are obviously modifiers through your gear and whatnot, which will increase the amount of healing. Now I did want to compare this with the heal aura, so you will see that in a moment as well. Focus Halo. Okay, for 100 focus, you can get a 2-minute buff that increases your maximum focus by 100. So it's just a flat 100 boost to your focus. I think this is pretty handy for casters. It does definitely have some value. And so that is going in the B tier. Heal Aura is just a beautiful spell. You have to channel it, and it costs a certain amount of focus per second, but it does heal in an AoE. So if you're with 3 other people, you're getting so much value out of this. Yeah, in a co-op situation, I think everybody should have Heal Aura. So I got myself down to about 50 focus in total, and I used the maximum amount of Heal Aura. Actually healed myself for 38 damage, whereas the heal rune is a solo heal, and that heals me for 40. So it feels like a bit of a no-brainer. It is super handy in co-op. I mean, if you're not in co-op, obviously you just pick up a heal. But so that one for me is going in the A tier. Now, next, channel. So channel costs you health per second, converts your health basically into focus. I think in my example I don't have much health or focus, so it doesn't really seem to be that efficient. But certainly as a caster, I think this can be very good, very good. I think this is more aimed towards the ranged builds, but this is a very good utility rune. The other good utility rune is Stamina Wellspring. Costs 100 focus, and you get a 30% stamina boost for 2 minutes. Now this is actually very nice for melee builds. Anyone who's swinging their swords around or daggers, dashing around a lot. I personally find a lot of value from this. And that is going into the A tier. We also have Damage Surge. So Damage Surge costs 100 focus to buff you for 2 minutes, which gives you a 20% damage buff. I'm pretty sure this used to say 30%, but yeah, 20% seems about right for the maths. 20% bonus, pop that every 2 minutes. I think that's great for casters, for melee, for range. It's just great for absolutely everybody. So that's another must-have for me in the S tier is Damage Surge. My favorite rune in the game is Blink. Absolutely love this rune. As a melee build, it's absolutely perfect. You need this. Whether you're just jumping out of the way of a crush, or you're stepping behind an enemy to backstab them, it's invaluable, I think. So I think any melee build must have this rune, and that's why that's S tier. So here are my favourite builds depending on your setup. Now for a melee heavy build, I like to go with Blink, Damage Surge, Scream or Stamina Wellspring, and Heal Aura or Heal. For range builds, I like to go with Stamina Wellspring, Damage Surge, Channel, and Heal or Heal Aura. And for casters, I like to go with Focus Halo, Damage Surge, Channel, and Heal Aura or Heal. That's every utility rune ranked. What are your favourite setups? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If this video helped, please feel free to leave a like or subscribe to the channel for more No Rest for the Wicked content. This video took a lot longer than expected, so please bear with me, but there will be plenty more videos coming in the next couple of weeks. Thanks again. Have a good one.